All right, guys, back. Episode 25, October 24th, 2023. I'm in Rock Life Studios. Dan Carter's back with us from Alabama. How are you today, Dan?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Man, it has been, we were talking just before we started. It's been Monday here.
Right.
We've got a bunch of stuff in the shop, and I couldn't even get back to help the guys before almost noon. Just couldn't get off the phone, couldn't get away from customers. It's a good problem to have, I suppose,
Right.
and what we're doing. But it has been Monday. National Rock Racing Association Finals was this past weekend in Jay, Oklahoma. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I got to watch. I made it a point to try and watch most of it. It's first finals I've missed since 2016. Went to Disney last year. I didn't get to see all of it out there, but we did get to see most of it. Kind of sad.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
I missed going and doing that experience for the first time since I've been involved. It just, I don't know. It's just not the same to me
Right.
as what it once was. It doesn't have the feel that it used to have, and I think that's just venue.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Like it just don't. It seems like something's missing.
Yeah, used to we'd roll up to Bikini Bottoms. We had, and I know we went places before Bikini Bottoms. I think they had finals at Hot Springs a couple times. But Bikini Bottoms to me was it was just the way, like, that place, they had a way of making the courses fast if they wanted to, and they had a way
Mhm.
of making them rough. And so, typically your first day would have been a little easier, and then your second day would have been a little tougher. And that's kind of the way they tried to do it at Mid America, but you just can't get in a groove when you run. Why in the hell are we racing at 2 o'clock on a Thursday? I'll just say it.
Right.
Why? There's no reason. Listen, I had some people send me videos of the park on Thursday afternoon. There's no reason. There was nobody there. And not that we can't draw. Our series draws.
Right.
But on a Thursday afternoon? No. If we can't find a way to go back and have 2 hills on Friday, 2 hills on Saturday, we need to find a change of venue for finals. I know I have been a advocate for Windrock finals, and even on the live feed, I was giving them shit. I was messaging them. I said, "Man, it's been nice if this had been a Windrock," and I even got Brita to comment on it and talk about it. And it just doesn't feel like finals to me anymore.
Right.
Somebody said it was our Super Bowl event. It doesn't feel that way.
Right.
We need to find a way to get that back. Even before I started racing, man, when you rolled in Bikini Bottoms Friday morning at, we started racing at 7 a.m.
Hmm.
There was people there watching.
That's right.
That's what we need to get back to.
It was
And
always a packed house.
it was a packed house. The Bikini Bottoms always drawed a great crowd, and I hate that place is going away, so that's not an option. Man, I know there's a lot of possibilities at Mid America. I know there's a lot of corporate eyes, I guess, looking at Mid America. They do draw some big sponsors, but I just don't think it's for us. I've
Right.
said it over and over and over and over and over. I just don't think that venue is fit for us. I don't like the hills. I don't like that the spectators are a zip code away from the
Right.
hills. I didn't get to go. I got Christy Upchurch, got me some video of the event. She did the best she could as one person. The videos, you can't see hardly anything. What she got. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like
Right.
it.
It's well. When I first saw where the spectator area was, it was like I don't know. It
Well,
just
it's a long way. So the visions that I went to, well, the first visions, I had my kid with me, so we stayed in the spectator area, stayed out of the racer area. We were up on the hill behind, I guess, where everybody's supposed to be. It's a long way across that bottom
right,
to the hills, and even the finals. I think it would have been the finals the year before that when we raced on the other side. Even that, like the spectators are all the way away,
right.
so far from the actual hills. You don't get that same thrill that you
Yeah,
do.
I don't understand. I mean, it's like I know the times in the past. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for us. You know, they put the bleachers down on the is right behind the pits. You know, I mean, it was like, okay, we're going to fix this up where everybody can see. It's going to be great. And it's like the more we go there, the more I feel like we're just a sideshow, if even that. And then it's like the equivalent of the spectator area now is worse than the nosebleed seats at a concert.
Well,
So
and not only that. So this past weekend they were running on the. They actually blocked off part of the short course area for us. They shortened their short course track so we could run. The short course racers were giving a shit and were yelling, telling us to get off the short course so they could
right,
have their course back. Like, what the crap? Like
yeah,
it's. I mean, it's just not. I don't know. That's um. That's a great place for short course racing. It's a great place for Travis Pastrana's bunch and the Nitro Circus, and it's a great place for rallycross. I just don't think rock bouncing has a future at that park. I really don't.
yeah,
And I hate that because it is a nice place. He does have a nice facility. It is a very beautiful place. They got all kinds of amenities. I just don't think it's ever going to work.
right.
They've tried it and tried it and tried it, and I think we need to do something different, in my opinion. Nonetheless, we will digress onto the actual event. Timmy Cameron made a comeback.
Right. I thought that was odd.
Well, so the cup trophy, is actually a traveling trophy.
Yep, right.
Well, he had it. He had to bring them back. So if you're going to drive all the way to Mid America to bring your trophies back, you might as well race and try and get some fuel money for the way home.
Yeah,
So, of course, there was rumors. Everybody thought he was going to be at Bikini Bottoms a couple weeks ago. That was the big hype, him versus Wade at Bikini Bottoms. Now, Timmy never said he was coming to Bikini Bottoms. Everybody was just trying to hype that up, wanting it to happen.
right.
But, man, that new buggy, if he comes back and races full time next year, or hell, he probably don't even have to race full time.
Right.
They said on the live feed, he said that buggy was 700 pounds less than Tyrant. Same power
Right.
plant. That's unreal.
Oh yeah. That's wild. And I didn't get a lot. Uh, I've seen some of the footage, but that thing looks way smaller, way lighter. Like you said, same power plant. I mean that thing's gonna straight get it. I was wondering.
700 pounds.
That's a lot.
That's a diet.
That I'm just curious what gear ratio he's running in that thing.
All of them. Hell, I don't know.
Just stripping all the teeth off of it.
16 seconds on his first run. First competitive run in the buggy. He was 16 seconds faster than the field.
Yeah. And what was funny to me was I did see one of the videos before. He's like, I'm gonna go. Well, I apologize. That's like the worst Timmy Cameron voice ever. but it's like he was like, well, I've got to go do some shock tuning,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just my trail rig. I'm gonna go do some shock tuning. Let me come out there and just smoke the shit out of the whole field and shit.
Listen, if I
I had,
built a trail rig bouncer, it'd at least have 2 seats in it. I'd at least
right,
pretend a little bit. I mean, he ain't even got a place in there for his cooler, man. That ain't no trail rig.
right. I've seen a picture of him when he built a trail rig, and that thing had 2 seats in it.
A plumb buck. That's a good rig. Sam Carter.
Is right.
Yep, Sam Carter got that. That was a trail rig. It had 2 seats and a place for a cooler.
That's right.
This thing, no. Um, that's a race car,
Yeah.
and he's going to do race car shit in it.
Yeah. Not unless that's his, I'm going to be a bachelor the rest of my life statement. Like,
Well,
here's my trail rig.
perfect,
No,
perfect machine for the no fat chick sticker. You
yeah.
seen those? Perfect machine. Like you ain't sitting in here.
Yeah. I shredded that 700 pounds for a reason.
Oh, I'm glad he's back.
I am. I like giving Timmy shit. Anytime we're on the hill, like looking at the hill, uh, he's always been nice, been accommodating.
He's always been nice to me. I've aggravated him some and gave him a little shit on here, but I mean somebody's got to.
Yeah, it's all in good fun, and he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody's got to. I mean, we can't all be on the wagon. Somebody's got to be the devil's advocate in some of this stuff and be the
there
bad
you
guy.
go.
And I don't care to be it. Uh, but speaking of, so Timmy was gone this year, and after 8 years of watching Timmy walk home with that cup, Brandon finally gets his championship. Uh, Happy that happened for him. There's rumors that he may or may not be back next season. Uh, I've heard something about some trophy truck racing. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see how that plays out. I don't want to get into that too much. Bouncer champion, stock class champion, Mr. Consistency had it going on this year. I don't know how many races he actually won in the bouncer.
I never kept up with it. I
Yeah,
wish.
I did sort of, but I've forgotten now. Uh, but I know
I
he
mean,
won several in that UTV,
right,
and did well enough in the bouncer class to pretty much, as long as he showed up to finals, he was going to win.
right.
Of course, Daniel Heckley in another TC chassis had some engine trouble. Didn't get to bring Hellbent to the finals. He ended up driving the old Attitude buggy, which
Mhm.
I think is the best sounding machine that has ever graced
For
any of,
sure.
any of the rock racing series. That thing is just wicked sounding. Raced it, didn't have a whole lot of luck. I think he turned it over once.
Right. In that shoe dogs buggy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Them
that
boys,
thing.
them boys is all neighbors.
Yeah, that I'm with you, man. That thing.
I
I
just
think
love the way it sounds.
I think that's the first buggy that I've heard with 180-degree headers on it.
It probably was me too. I'm
It's
trying
just
to remember the first time I actually remember it. Had
I don't know. I just remember thinking, what in the hell is that?
Yeah,
Like, didn't know at that time that you could just reconfigure the exhaust on a 1,000 horsepower engine, and it just sounded like it was just releasing hell.
that's exactly what that buggy sounds like.
Yeah,
Hell is pouring out of the headers.
right.
I'm trying to remember where that thing was at. Somebody I didn't even know introduced me to that buggy. I heard it. We were working an event somewhere and he was racing and I could hear it but I couldn't see it. And I was like, "Well, what is that?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Schuessler."
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Well, what's a Schuessler?" And so we got out the YouTube and they showed me some videos and I'm like, "Oh shit." So the next race I made it a point to go watch him run. And I was pretty impressed. That buggy had they talked about it a little bit on the live feed. It had a pretty interesting Bikini Bottoms event a few years ago that was on the highlight reels, and you still see that play on some of the old Busted Knuckle and Mad Ram videos. It was pretty gnarly. Of course, Matt's been racing that Busted Knuckle buggy for the last couple years now. I think he's getting something else new now. I talked to him a little bit at Bikini Bottoms, and I think there's something coming in the works for
Sweet.
him. Glad that he's back.
For sure.
Missed him while he was on vacation there for about a year. Hopefully he gets back next year and runs a full season with us. Let's see. Who else are we going to talk about in the bouncer class? Well, what about old Wade Good?
Yeah, like I was rooting for him to come back and still take advantage of his championship. Like I was hoping for some reason or for some way that the stars were aligned, he'd come back and take it all in. But he didn't have such good luck this weekend.
I don't know how the points like fared. I'll get into that later, but out of 6 possible runs, he only finished. I don't know how many he finished it. I don't think he finished any at finals.
And Carter
Finished one at Bikini Bottoms, I think. Did he even finish one at Bikini Bottoms? I don't remember.
I think he finished the second hill. He was the first one up the on hill 1, came through the water too hot.
And
something he got like 3/4 up the hill and just cut off.
The runs were fast. They looked like he'd never been gone, but right. I think that's also what got him. I don't know, man. Maybe TC got in his head at finals. He's seen that 100-shot buggy laying down some smoking times, and I know the first run he turned over going up the first hill, and then his second run he turned over on the downhill section where you made the turn in the flat. I think he broke a shock and some other stuff on that rollover, and I don't think they run anymore after that.
Right.
But if he could have come back and scored 75% of available points, he may have jumped himself back into the podium for the year.
Right.
After being gone for half the season. So I was like you. I was kind of hoping he'd come back and get another one of those spots, but wasn't to be. Right. Nick Rock has been at the last couple events, Bikini Bottoms and finals. Been tearing it up. I think he ended up 3rd for the weekend at finals. That Fordzilla buggy is doing extremely well. I hope he gets to race with us more next year. We haven't seen him a whole lot this year.
Right.
Let's see. Big bouncers. I'm trying to think of some of the runs. Of course, Jay Storch didn't have Ford play. He was in Showstopper. You said Cooper. I think Cooper had a rollover. Still ended up 3rd for the year.
Yeah, that's still pretty good for him. I would say that this was probably his rookie year.
Yeah, I would definitely call it his rookie year.
The bouncer, he did race a couple of races last year, but he's come out swinging, and that's pretty good for Coop.
3rd overall is extremely well with the company that's in that series, and considering the learning curve and the belt issues they were having at one point in the year, and I know he's had a couple DNFs. That's really good. Now that he's got a season under his belt, I'm anxious to see. Man, he had a rough time in the Razor buggies this weekend too.
Right.
Blowing belts, lost a ball joint. I mean, just his bad luck at finals was. I don't know. Maybe we should have went.
Right.
Some of these other people took all the bad mojo since we weren't there. Maybe we should have went, and maybe they'd have kept it, and we'd have had some good runs. But let's see. Oh, Cody Cayson. We'll talk about the UTVs for a minute. Cody Cayson had 9 podiums this year. Not Cody Clay. Sorry, had 9 podiums out of 9 events this year in the Cup Series. Almost gave it away. He would have still won the championship, but almost gave away his podium streak. Something happened, and I think what was his last run. And I wasn't sure how it was going to shake out, but he still ended up second, so it wasn't too bad. But he probably would have won. I think he lost something to do with his steering.
Hmm.
So that's 10 podiums in 10 events, plus an overall championship. I don't know many people who have ever done that outside of
Right.
maybe Timmy.
Right.
So that's pretty wild. Let's see. Just kind of glancing over some of this stuff. Braden, stock class, 6 podiums in a row.
That's sweet.
Uh, had a good first run. Second run, I think it was his second run. He missed a turn and had to back up and cost him some time. Got a little behind in the points. Was
Hmm.
setting fourth going into the final run and squeaked out third place by 1 point to keep his podium streak alive. Ended up second for the season behind Brandon. And I'm not going to say that's his rookie year, but he didn't run a full season last year, and half the season he run in a 1000 buggy
Right.
instead of a turbo. So anxious to see what he's going to do next year.
Yeah, I know we had him on previously, and uh, he did he wanted to race, but life does get in the way. So we'll see. I'd like to see him continue, give it another year, just to see he. I'd like to see what he could do a full season in that same chassis.
I'd like to see him run. I know he's probably not going to run. He's probably going to be in something else next year. I would like to see him in because listen, he's one hill at Disney away from a championship.
Mm-hmm.
And the hill he turned over on at Disney had no business turning over on.
Right.
It just laid over. So he's one run away from a championship. I don't know. I mean, it'd be a lot to ask him to try and repeat that. But if he does move on to the Cup class, if he even runs for a championship season at all, I'm anxious to see how he does. I would like to see him in a chassis though.
Yeah.
I think he could give some of them boys a run for their money. Because listen, he bought that buggy, and my thoughts was, oh no, he's going to trail ride this and race it. It's never going to last.
Right.
He didn't really ride that thing much.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I thought he would. He took care of it in the downtime. He didn't go out and beat on it like I thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
He kept it at home. He worked on it, made sure it held together. Never really had any mechanical issues all year, which is I'm really surprised about.
Right.
He stayed on top of it. He'd call me if he needed something. We'd get him took care of as quick as we could. And so I don't know. I'd like to see him in a chassis. Hopefully that's something that comes sooner rather than later. All right. So somebody I don't want to omit or forget in this episode is our little buddy Brantley, who didn't answer the phone. We're not going to try and. So I had, and I'm going to tell this on him. Bobby Upchurch was out at Mid America, and I texted him. I said, "Ask Brantley why he didn't answer the phone on Tuesday night." Brantley's answers was, "It was 10 o'clock. I was naked and going to bed." Good answer. That would be a good reason not to answer the phone. So we're not going to try and call him tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that we have him on the screen.
No. We'll get him on one of these days. We'll have to set up a little earlier recording time, and we'll get him on and get to talk to him a little bit. He did get the U Series championship, and so congratulations to him. And I also want to give a big shout out to Dustin. Dustin has been a big help to us the last couple of years.
Right. Right.
He has helped you in numerous situations. Ran for us. Ran in your stead in all the classes at Mid America.
turn wrenches,
turn wrenches. I mean, anything we needed.
given parts. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So if I had an award to give out, which I don't, so he's shit out of luck. But if I had an award to give out, Dustin, you're going to get it. And I may come up with something really stupid one of these days and just show up with it. So we really appreciate what you have done for us all year. Like I said, he run. Hey, listen, he done the stock class and had some pretty respectable times.
yeah,
Run all 4 runs, and he didn't hold back. It didn't look like he gave that 4-seater everything it wanted. So we really appreciate those guys. They're big supporters, and it'd be hard to do it without them. I don't know what they're doing next year. Have they talked to you about any of that?
Well, I don't want to tell any secrets or put anybody on the spot, but he had mentioned at one time that they would probably do, something that they both could run the stock class in next year.
That'd be cool.
So, and I don't think it's going to be like a whole season deal. I think it's just going to be a whatever is close to the house deal because used to they could throw the 200 in the back of the truck and drive out to Missouri, no headache, no trailer,
Yeah,
pretty
just
easy,
go.
easy to do. But you really can't do that with a two seater buggy. So we'll see. But that's what last time I talked to him, that's what their thoughts were.
Well, Brantley got to run some short course out there at Mid America. Haven't got to talk to him. Don't know. I'm sure he enjoyed that. I think he finished 4th in his class. I think maybe 4th or 5th in his class in that. So first time running in a bone stock 200 against some of them kids that's been racing out there all year. So
Right.
that's pretty good. I'd like to see him maybe try some more of that. I don't know what their age requirements are in that series. I'm sure he's right on the borderline regardless.
Right.
So maybe he gets to move up, and hell, I just race the 4-seater, Dustin. Quit being a sissy.
Right. Well, we talked, kind of all of us have talked at one point off camera about maybe talking to Clyde about doing a youth style stock class. But I don't know where that ever wound up making it to Clyde's ears or what. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that if you could regulate the fairness of it.
I think that's in the works. I don't know what the rules are going to be. I don't know what day it's going to be on. I don't know how it's going to work. But that is something for you guys to listen for, watch for. There may be an intermediate style youth full body razor class. I don't know what it's going to be. That's been in the talks now for a couple months, so we'll see. If we hear anything on that, we'll get that updated, and as soon as we get that information, hopefully something like that happens because there is a need, and we've talked about it on here. There is a need for that. Everybody's not Cash LaCroix. Not everybody is going to be great at 12 and 13 that can climb giant hills.
Right.
People develop different. So there needs to be a intermediate class of some sort. I don't know. Pro Rock tried the Pro-Am class. Is that something, along those lines? Do a Pro-Am class, but just do full bodies. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there. We'll wait, I guess, until the powers that be tell us what they're going to do.
Right.
And then we'll go from there. So we'll get into a couple weeks ago. We done a little segment. It was just a good luck, bad luck kind of deal. I don't know if you got to see enough of it to even call this.
I know that's what I was trying to rack my brain on. All I saw was everybody having bad luck.
Well,
weekend.
I'm just gonna we can cop out on this one if we need to. My good luck, or my good run, whatever, Brandon Davis. Man, he's been so close so many times. Have a bunch of solid runs out there. Second in the cup class, first in the stock class, first in the bouncer class. As far as I know, I think he finished all his runs out there without any issue. I don't know in his position. I don't know if you can ask for anything better.
Right.
Good, smooth, clean runs. And listen, his stock class run, I'm not sure where his cup class stuff lined up, but his stock class runs were fast.
Right.
I mean, so he wasn't holding back. I thought maybe he would hold back a little bit in the cup class to allow him to go after the stock because Braden was right on his heels. But, I mean, he looked fast and everything. So, yeah. I think Brandon gets the nod this week in that and probably for the season.
For sure. He is definitely a wheelman, and he has proved himself that time again.
Yeah, I hope he gets to stay around, or at least if he does go do this other kind of racing, that he comes back and visits on occasion.
I really feel like he'll be at more of Clyde stuff than we think he'll be at.
Yeah, I do too. I don't. He's been doing it so long, and it's just it's nothing like climbing these big old hills.
That's right.
It's just wide open. Bad luck. Wade?
That's what I was thinking. Like it seemed like he had some of our luck this past weekend at finals.
He was flying through the short course part. I can't remember both runs were impressive until they weren't. But both runs were really fast. But one of them was I would love to put a stopwatch on it and go back on the video and see what it took him to run down to the corner and back and then go up to the hill. Because one of the runs was 5 seconds faster than the other one.
Right. That's moving.
He was absolutely flying, but then turned over on the hill. So it was all for naught. But if he could have finished, I think his second run, it would have been real tight with him and Timmy. Just how it all shook out. I would have liked to have seen a finish time.
Right, for sure.
We'll never know. All right, so the only class we haven't really talked about has been the VIN class. We'll talk about that for just a minute. I seen the picture Charles put up on. Everybody's doing the spread now with the buggy and all the trophies for the year.
Right.
He had all first place except for 2 events. And I don't know who beat him or how he got beat. The Jeep must have broke or something. I don't know.
Say that there may have been one that Don Curtis got him.
I'll have to go back and look and see who won the other 2.
It would have been early in the year.
There was 2 second place trophies, and the rest of them was first all the way down the line. But man, he beat that Jeep's freaking brains out this year.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know if he was going to do them all or just come to some or what, but he was dedicated this year, went to every event. Of course, he's going to be there anyways. He's filming.
Right.
So why not enjoy yourself a little bit and maybe make some gas money for the way home?
That's right.
But the VIN class, man, I really wish we could get some more people in that.
Yeah. That like I've said before, that's one of the funnest times that you can have is it running the VIN class.
Yeah, and I don't know how we get. Of course, it's all money driven, but I don't know how we get more people involved in that class because there's usually only 3 to 4,
right?
And it's just 100% payback, and so that's really, I don't know what you get if you win $150, maybe, I don't know. But we need some more entries in that class. We need to get the local people involved. They need to know what it is, I guess. I don't know. Somehow or another, we need to recruit some more people.
Right.
I'm trying to remember. Was it not Hawk Pride? Arkansas last year. I think there was a
Right.
couple Jeeps and stuff that jumped in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Full size Blazer, a couple of Jeeps, maybe I was going to say Toyota, but that may have been at Bridgeport.
yeah, there was the Toyota guys raced with us a couple times.
Right.
He run at Bridgeport, and then I think I've seen him somewhere else. I can't remember. Did he do one of the Disney races? Maybe.
May have.
I think maybe he did one of the Disney races we've had. But that's just so fun to watch these guys.
Oh, for sure.
Listen, if Don Curtis they're building that truck out of bouncer parts
Hmm.
for the in case that they ever come across a bouncer, they can start taking parts out of the truck and put in that thing.
Right.
He beats that thing to death. And it's got some horsepower to it. It's still just a daggone square body though, so you're only going to get so much out of it. But I'd like to see him in something a little more agile.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that his dad got the Jeep,
Yeah.
and I was okay. He's ditching the square body. He's going to be running the Jeep, but I didn't know his dad was going to run it. But I'm like you. I thought he was going to get something a little bit more competitive. And like you said, he does hold the whole square body to the floor, but that thing being
They're just not nimble enough.
right, and the rules state that it's got to retain whatever suspension came on that factory. And well, I'm not going to say the factory suspension, but like if it
Factory
came
style.
right, if it comes with leaf springs, you've got to have leaf springs on it. So I mean, that's why the Jeep Cherokees
The Cherokees. Yes.
are the go-to.
They the square body does good. He's impressed me in it. I just hate I've got no K5s I used to trail ride. And they're just clunky. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. They're clunky. They're stiff. They're not nimble at all.
Right.
Great beer wagons.
For sure.
But as far as race machines,
Yeah.
it kind of is what it is.
They're more dog.
Yeah. They would make good mud bogging machines. I've not had mine out in several years now, just for that reason. Since side by sides came about. I used to have a K5 on 40s, and we just said 44s under it, and literally just a beer wagon. We just get in it and fart around. But even doing that, you get yourself in some positions that were uncomfortable, and you're like, man, I need something smaller, something a little more compact. And so I get the struggle that he's facing.
Right.
I'd like to see his goal is to race a bouncer. I'd like to see him in something at least a little closer to that.
Right. Yeah. I would like take Matt Holt, for example, that has all kind of bad luck. He's had some bad luck this year. Him and Don need to get together and make a race team.
Listen, I think there was some conversation on the live feed of Bree and Matt sharing a Jeep next year.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, supposedly.
Tough.
Listen, Chad Molitor said he would sponsor them a Jeep if they would race.
The Avenger 4.0.
Oh, dude, that's freaking perfect. You got to get that trademarked.
Alrighty.
All right, so there we are. Finals in the books. 2023 National Rock Racing Association in the books. Congratulations to all our champions, all our race winners, everybody that came out and competed. Sucks. Like I said, sucks we didn't get to go to finals.
Yeah. We missed it, but hey, 2 top 5s, maybe.
2 top 5s, yes. Top 5 VIN class.
Yeah.
Top 5 UTV stock class. Hey, for the year we had, I'll take it.
That's right.
I'll
That's
absolutely take it. Two season long top fives and a bounty victory for the third year in a row.
I'll take.
So that's hey, we got. Listen, I ain't ashamed. We hanging banners up in here, bud.
There you go.
Hopefully we'll be back and a little more competitive and next year and get to have a little bit more fun like we talked about.
Right.
Um,
And I am jealous of all these people taking pictures of their buggies and their race machines in their driveway, fully clean, and all these trophies everywhere. So that's our goal for next year and the year after is to accumulate all these trophies, and then we'll just do from like years past all the way up. Like you're just going to be vomit of trophies on the driveway.
we can listen. If you can borrow some, I got some old dirt track trophies at the house. We'll throw in there too. It's a good season nonetheless. We had fun. A lot of ups and downs. We're not completely done yet, or I'm not completely done. I'm going to go to Poppy Mountain this weekend and get some hang out with Wyatt Wilson
There
and
you go.
Nathaniel Bell and some of the guys that are going to go up there and do that little race. $3,000 to win, I think. Going to go get some video, see who we can find, talk to. Tried to get DC to come, but he's going some other race somewhere else. So that'll be a good time. So we're not completely done. We've got some other stuff in the works to do. We'll be back probably a couple weeks. We'll do another episode, and like I said, we're going to give you guys some updates periodically through the winter. For now, we'll say every couple weeks, or if something exciting happens, we'll jump on and maybe even make a little 10-minute deal, just something to keep everybody updated. Dan, it's been a good year, buddy.
It has. I can't thank you enough. We have really enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, we ain't done, but the National Rock Racing Association season is over, and that's kind of what we're based around. So it's going to be sporadic from here on out, but we will be back. Stick around. We're going to do the season-ending rundown right after this. All right, guys, here it is, our season-ending rundown for the 2023 National Rock Racing Association season-ending. We're going to talk about the event finals from Mid-America Outdoors for our finals event, and then we'll talk about the season overall point standings. We're going to start with the UTV youth class. So for the event at Mid-America, Dallas Heckley took the win, Brantley Havens in second, Clara Hoback in third for the season. Brantley finished the season with 1,045 points. Dallas Heckley in second with 964, and Clara Hoback in third with 927. Congratulations to all those youngsters. They put on a heck of a show all season long. Next up is our VIN class. Charles Carriss with the win in MAO, Don Curtis in second, and Justin Hoback in third for the weekend. For the season, not a whole lot of difference. Charles is your winner with 1,073 points. Justin Hoback in second with 798. Don Curtis with 763. For the event, for the UTV stock class at Mid-America Outdoors, our 2023 final saw Brandon Davis take the win, Daniel Heckley in second, and Braden Upchurch just barely squeezing out Jay Storts for that sixth consecutive podium on the final run of the day. Barely got that done, but he made it. For the season, Brandon Davis was your series champion with 970 points, Braden with 947, and Daniel Heckley with 884 points. Super close race in that series all season long. Up next, we have the UTV Bounty class. MAO saw Cooper Bentley take the win with Madison King in second and her brother Nathan King in third place. For the season, Casey Howell is your bounty champion with 693 points. Cooper Bentley almost got the crown again with 682. Madison King, 652 points for the season. For the UTV Unlimited class, Nathan King was your event winner with 191 points. Clay Cayson with 188, and Cody Cayson with 172 for the weekend. So congrats to those guys for the season. Clay Cayson took a commanding championship lead going into the event. Nothing really changed. He is your series champion with 1,044 points. Brandon Davis with 888. Casey Howell with 801. Bouncer class. Officially for the event, Jack Porter got a win via Timmy Cameron. Brandon Davis in second and Nick Reich in third place. Hey, and I want to give a shout out to Richard Hodges for coming in fourth for the weekend. Super cool to see him do good in that new buggy. For the year, Brandon Davis is your champion with 939 points. Daniel Heckley, a distant second, with 795. And Cooper Bentley finishes out his rookie year in third place with 726 points. Guys, congratulations to all of our participants for all season long. It was an amazing season. Lots of great battles, lots of good racing. Super excited. We had a lot of good seasoned drivers this year. The field was very stacked every week. It was a great competition every week. A lot of the same faces over and over and over, but that makes for a great competition. So next year, hopefully, we'll have a big field as well. We look forward to seeing everybody at our first event next year, whenever that may be. We out.
This episode is brought to you by Rock Life Off-Road. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.